Hey everybody, I'm going to preview or review the past weekend's Premier League fixtures, game week 12, a few of the talking points, some major upsets, and also touch on a bit on how the Champions League is potentially affecting some of the Premier League teams. My name's Ricky, this is In Added Time. So let's get straight to it. First game of the weekend was Burnley at home against Chelsea. I predicted a draw for that game. It didn't go that way. Chelsea are looking incredibly good. In fact, they're on a roll. Champions League and Premier League. They're only 6 points behind Arsenal now. And if you think that two of the games they lost, they got a red card early doors. One for Chalobah, one for Sanchez. So those games could have been winnable. And if they did, they'd be level with Arsenal. So don't be sleeping on Chelsea at the moment. And then last night, they smashed Barcelona, who's one of the best teams in the world, in world football. So I think there's a lot to come from this Chelsea team. I know they're very young, but that means they're hungry to prove themselves. So exciting times ahead. Comfortable win for Chelsea in the end, 2-0. Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro on the score sheet. And Cole Palmer's not even back yet. He picked up a toe injury. Yeah, little toe injury. Not a little injury, it's on his small toe. Next up we had Bournemouth at home to West Ham. I thought Bournemouth would win that comfortably, but West Ham just seems so plucky at the moment. They're doing incredibly well under Nuno Espirito Santo. Managed to get a draw, scored 2 early goals. Bournemouth came back into the game. It was really end-to-end, very exciting. 2-2 was the final result there. West Ham looked like they're going to comfortably avoid relegation this season. It was a brilliant move bringing in Nuno Espirito Santo. They have Liverpool at home on Sunday, so don't be surprised if they pick up a victory there. Next up we had Brighton at home to Brentford. I thought it would be a victory for Brighton and they pulled it off, 2-1. They're looking great at home, Brighton team. They're good in attack and constantly different scorers. Not just Welbeck, there's Minte, there's even Hinchelwood picking up goals now. So they're a team to watch out for. They're going to end comfortably in mid-table. I don't think they'll push for European places, but they're also far away from relegation. Maybe they could go on a nice cup run. I enjoy watching Brighton play nonetheless. Good victory for them, 2-1. Of course, the week before I had predicted 7 out of the 10 results. This past weekend, only 5. There were so many upsets. Fulham-Sunderland, I thought Fulham would win more comfortably than they did. They only won 1-0 in the end. But it was difficult. They could have scored a lot more goals. They're just struggling to get the goal in the end. Raul Jimenez picked up the goal in the 84th minute. They did have lots of chances, but they look very, very good. And even if they lose, it won't be to the African Cup of Nations. They're still going to be strong enough. Fulham again, comfortable mid-table team. Who knows, they might push for a European place. Very tricky team to play when you go to Craven Cottage. Then, major upset of the weekend. It's not even upset anymore. Liverpool losing at home 3-0 to Nottingham Forest. This was a game they lost last year. That was 1-0. But kind of in the beginning of Arne Slot's tenure, and Nottingham Forest went on to do great things. But 3-0 at home, it's becoming embarrassing now. They lost again last night in the Champions League, 4-1 to a PSV team who they should have comfortably beat. There's big problems in this Liverpool team. Losing their last 3 games, conceding 10 goals. I know it's Man City, but still Man City, Nottingham Forest and PSV conceding 10 goals and only scoring 1. There's some major problems there. And I still think there's easy fixes. He's just got to move the better players into defensive positions. Joe Gomez should be starting. How can you say he's got an injury, but then he's on your bench? That doesn't make sense to me. Van Dijk making an error yesterday. Konate getting pulled, he's not good enough. Kirkus isn't good enough defensively, also making errors. Robertson, I guess he's getting a bit leggy now. Just so many problems. The midfield, they also don't have the same cohesion as they had last season. They need to be playing every game together, every week. You need to stop breaking up that midfield. I know Curtis Jones played at right back, but that's not his natural position. So, big problems. Great result for Nottingham Forest nonetheless. Sean Dyche looks well en route to secure that he won't be battling in a relegation battle come end of the season. I think they're going to be a part of that team just under mid-table. And he might have a European run, so let's see what he does there. Next up, Wolves at home to Crystal Palace. I predicted a straightforward victory for Palace, and it was just that. Wolves are done. Put a fork in them, they're done. They're going straight down. New coach coming in. He's going to go straight back to the Championship. Middlesbrough are going to be happy to see him come back down. Palace just keep marching on. They'll keep fighting. They might get a European spot come end of the season. Lots of different scorers. They're going to lose Saar, of course, the African Cup of Nations. But Pino's looked very, very good. Exciting player. And one to watch for on your FPL teams. Next up was another upset on the weekend. Although I did predict a Newcastle victory 2-1. And that's exactly what happened. Harvey Barnes looking very good in his place for Anthony Gordon, who's still injured. And picking up 2 goals. And Haaland didn't score. It just shows Man City are not unbeatable. If Haaland doesn't score, they don't win. They also lost this week in the Champions League at home against Bayer Leverkusen. Again, 2-0. Haaland didn't score, they don't win. So if you can keep Haaland quiet and you can just focus on him, you've got a great chance against Man City. Next up, Leeds at home to Aston Villa. Easy victory for Aston Villa in the end, although they did concede first. They won 2-1. Rodgers is on form. He picked up both goals. He looks to be back to his best. Villa slowly getting their way there. They also look to be good. They need Watkins to start firing if they want to have a run in Europe and also in the Premier League to try and get up the table to those European spots. Watkins doesn't look his best. But nonetheless, he's got a good team there. Marlon coming in for Digne. It's a great replacement. Matty Cash looking good. Martinez, the keeper, I still think he's prone to a mistake or two, but no, he's still a very good keeper. Next up, we had Arsenal at home to Spurs. I predicted a draw. I didn't know what Spursy team would pitch up, but I guess it's the team that just keeps losing. Not only did they lose last night against PSG 5-3, which is an incredible game, they lost against Arsenal 4-1. So Spurs absolutely leaking goals at the back. Great demolition job by Arsenal. They keep marching on. Is a hat-trick, the first hat-trick in a North London derby in over 50 years. Arsenal also beating Bayern Munich this week. I've got to say this is the best Arsenal team I've seen since the Invincibles. And that team largely was based around Vieira and Henry anyway. But this Arsenal team, wow, they could go on to do great things this season if they can keep up the momentum. I just don't see anybody stopping them really. They might drop points here or there, but even then, they've got such great players to come on. Don't be surprised if Arsenal don't win a treble of trophies this season. And then Monday night football, Man United at home against Everton. I thought United would do something. They've been on a semi-decent run. Everton losing, Seamus Coleman early on. A fight between their players, but Keane got smacked in his face. Player got red carded. Everton down to 10 men. And they still went on to win the game. I don't know. That's the first time since Roberto Martinez has Everton won at Old Trafford. It's a long time now. Man United just don't look good. Seem to be cropping up all the usual errors. I think that good little run was just a part-time thing. So yeah, I only picked it 5 out of the 10 results. Not great for me. I'd like to be a bit higher than that, closer to 7, 8. But let's see. Tomorrow I'll be back with another preview video, Game Week 13's fixtures. I'll pick up 2 highlighted games, talk about them, and let's see if I can get those predictions a bit better. So yeah, that's it from me. Take care, stay warm. Cheers.